brought up Anastasia, right? Yeah. A great point about amino acids. This is interesting because amino acids they're actually 9 different elements, and without getting down to chemistry, there isn't like a protein molecule. I used to think, oh, there's protein in hamburger and there's protein in chicken. There must be a protein molecule. And there's really not. There are 9 essential amino acids, and essential means our bodies don't manufacture them. So our bodies don't manufacture these essential amino acids. We have to take these in through our food. And they're isolene, leucine, lysine. Chances are if it has the word "sine," except for the word obscene, then it's probably going to be an amino acid, okay? But we need these, and we have to find these in our food. Now, what makes an amino acid complete versus incomplete? Have any of you heard that term before? Yes? So complete means that it has all of these amino acids. Incomplete means that it doesn't. So complete, like if you look at a lot of the animal proteins, chicken, fish, beef, those kinds of things, those have complete proteins. But if you look at beans, there's some protein in it, but it doesn't have all 9 of these, so it's incomplete. But when you take beans and you add it to rice, all of a sudden you have all 9 when you combine them. So it is a perfect protein. You can get all the protein you need as a substitute through beans and rice. And that could be lentils, it could be an assortment of beans, an assortment of rice, but always, you know, if you do brown rice and a quinoa mix with some beans, you're getting a lot of protein in that, equivalent to a serving of an animal protein, okay? Yes?
Do quinoa and beans, that's okay, or do you need the brown rice and beans?
Right, so the question is, can you do quinoa and beans, combine that to make a perfect protein, or do you need to have rice? And you could use the quinoa or the rice to make the perfect protein with the beans. I just really enjoy having cooking quinoa with brown rice together in a rice cooker with a little bit of low sodium chicken broth. It just makes a really nice light texture, plus you're giving it an extra little boost of protein because the quinoa has 6 grams of protein per serving, a lot more than rice. So quinoa is a really good quality grain when you're looking to increase your protein. I put these in order just to make it a little simpler so you can see what you're getting per serving. All these foods are probably around 150 to 200 calories per serving, or less, maybe around 150. So here, lean ground turkey. How many of you eat lean ground turkey? A couple of you? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you mean you put them in order?
Well, I put them in terms of grams, in terms of their value per serving of protein. So here, quinoa has 6 grams per serving. It's not as high as a yogurt, for example.
You're saying the top is the least best? Or
Yes, the top has the least amount of protein. Down here, it has the most amount of protein per serving. Okay, so here, but these are all fairly similar, ground turkey and pork tenderloin. Do any of you eat pork tenderloin? No? It's wonderful. Yes, Heather does, because I make it. Pork tenderloin is as lean as a chicken breast and great protein. It's even a little bit leaner than the white chicken breast. It's absolutely fabulous protein. Whey protein, this is more in the way of, do any of you use supplements, whey protein supplements? Yes? Okay. Sometimes. It's a good quality protein too. Obviously anything that's not processed is going to be healthier for you overall, but I supplement with whey proteins as well. It's actually a very good protein. It's usually 18 grams per scoop or per serving, but it varies so much. There's so many different qualities of whey protein. They have one here, it's called Show Me the Whey, that they actually use in their smoothie bar. And I'm starting to use that one too, it's very good. And Greek yogurt, about 20 grams of protein, that's pretty high. If you get the no sugar yogurt. Any fish eaters here? Yes? Good, good. It's also a good choice. Chicken breast comes in about 26 grams of protein per 3 ounces, so 3 ounces is about half of a chicken breast. Then egg whites. Eggs they're such a high quality protein. It's only, if you eat just the white, 17 calories. And we're talking before about getting the most calories for your, the most quality for the calories that you take in. You could eat 8 egg whites, and that's about 160 calories. And you'll get 28 grams of protein, which is about 1/3 of what your body needs all day, and that's a great source.
Why not the whole egg?
The whole egg, that's a good question. He said, why not the whole egg? The yolk is where all of the fat is and some cholesterol, and the white is where most of the protein is. So we can eat egg yolks as well. I think the USDA is saying eat 2 per week. I typically choose my calories so that I don't have that extra fat. I choose my fats in the way of nuts, walnuts, almonds, flaxseed meal, omega-3s, fish protein, that kind of thing. Okay. This is a protein quality comparison chart, and these are the different protein types, okay? Starting off with whey protein. They actually use a whole egg, and they look at this as being the perfect, kind of the norm in terms of high quality protein. And they have a digestibility score, a biological value. This is how much nitrogen is actually absorbed by your body, digestibility rate. So you can look and see that, whey protein is pretty efficient, has a good biological value. The amino acid profile is good. This is as well. But these two are great. Casein is a milk protein.
What?
A milk protein? Yes. It's a part of the protein that is actually not in whey protein. That's extracted. Then soy protein concentrate. So soy is a good protein. The only downside is that your body, if you look at these 3 numbers, it's not as absorbed. So your body, you can take in soy protein, but you need to take in more grams of it than you would something else to be able to get the same levels of protein, just because your body doesn't absorb all of it. Do you have a question? Yes.
For example, they say that if you, for example, born in Japan and since childhood you ate tofu, then your body absorbing more of that than my body, somebody who never ate it before.
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, it kind of goes back to genetic. Her comment is, if you were born in Japan, for example, and you grew up eating tofu, that your body would be more naturally able to absorb that versus someone who grew up maybe in the States here and didn't eat it.
But is it true?
I don't know that that's true, but that brings up something else, which is there's a lot of research into the genetics and how much we absorb by race and by gene, and we're actually doing, not me personally, but companies are doing genetic testing to see what kinds of supplements you might need and what kinds of foods you might need based on your DNA. And that's a whole area that I am just beginning to learn about. I don't know a lot about it, but I think it ties into that. And I don't know whether that's true or not. I think there's more research, and I think we're on the verge of learning a lot more about that. It's an interesting idea. So I want to talk about whey proteins. Several of you supplement. Are they all created equal? And they're really not. You'll see some whey proteins that are inexpensive. You'll see whey proteins that are twice the cost. And they're made in different ways. There are 3 different elements to whey protein. There's whey protein concentrate. So this comes down to reading the food labels on your proteins, whether it's a power bar or whether it's whey protein or if it's some sort of a manufactured food where they're using different concentrates. So a concentrate is actually the least potent of all. So if you're looking at a whey protein or a bar and it says concentrate, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's going to be lower quality than a whey protein isolate. Here, the whey protein by weight it varies. It could vary between 29 to almost 90%. So you don't always know what you're getting. So if a protein bar says whey protein concentrate, it's hard to tell what the quality is. It could be just okay. It just depends. It depends on the other ingredients in it. they may combine a whey protein concentrate with a whey protein isolate. An isolate is higher quality. They've actually removed some of the fat and the carbohydrates. So if you're looking at a whey protein isolate, you'll notice on your protein jar that the carbohydrates are going to be higher here when you're looking at whey protein concentrate. This is just a little bit better quality. This is 90% or more by weight, so you can see how there could be a big fluctuation in the amount of actual grams of protein in that particular product. This is pre-digested ionized hydrosylates, and it's very expensive. It's very uncommon to find. Normally, your products, you'll see one of these two in products and sometimes a combination. And then you'll also see soy isolates. And soy isolates would be comparable to the whey protein isolates, okay? Except again, your body's probably not going to absorb as much soy as you would with the whey. So that's a way to tell. So you're going to start looking at all your protein bars now, right? And you're going to start saying, what is in this? And know the difference between the two. You might pay a little more for a whey protein isolate. So when we talk about protein and quality protein, in every meal, I like to combine lean proteins with complex carbs and healthy fats. And I did quite a bit of research in the area of food satiety. And if you do this, you will stay fuller longer. It slows down your body's ability to break it down quickly, and it'll keep you fuller longer. So 20% is perfect. Say, for example, you have a Greek yogurt here. That's your protein. And then you add a complex carb. Let's say you add an apple to it, and a healthy fat, maybe 10 almonds. All of a sudden, you have about 300 calories of really healthy food that's going to sustain you. If you were hungry and you just ate an apple, you would digest it so quickly, you would be hungry again in an hour. And that's why we tend to combine our foods.
What do you have for fat?
As an example, almonds. Just as an example. Walnuts, almonds, flaxseed. Yes, hi. Avocados, yes. She said, how about avocados? Avocados are a great source of healthy fats, as is, let's see what else, olive oil, flaxseed, nuts. Can we think of any others? Healthy fats, unsaturated, no trans. Ice cream. Yes, ice cream's great for you.
Seeds would be good.
I'm sorry?
Any type of seeds.
Seeds,
nuts
yes.
would be good.
Exactly, seeds or nuts. Sunflower seeds, walnuts, you know, and I did research into the different kinds of seeds. People used to say, don't have roasted seeds, they're not good for you, but a raw seed and a roasted seed, they're exactly equal in terms of their nutrient content, but what happens is sometimes in the roasting process, they'll add sugars, they'll add fats, they'll add other things to it, that smoky flavor, you know, those smokehouse almonds. Those are the ones you don't want. But if it's just a plain roasted nut, it's fantastic and it's a little crunchier, so it's a little more palatable, right? Yes.
How do you determine whether or not they put anything on it? I mean, does the label have to say if they try roasting it, they put something on it?
Yeah, so her question is, how can you tell if with the nuts that they put something into the formulation? And the way you tell is by looking at the ingredients. It might say something like almonds and then sunflower oil, then you know if they used oils or salt or sugar, that kind of thing.
They do have to specify.
They have to specify it. They have to specify it by law.
And so if it doesn't say gluten-free, I mean, and if they don't say they put it in there, then we can safely assume that it's gluten-free or not?
So her question is, if it doesn't say gluten-free, is it gluten-free? And gluten-free products, there's so many natural gluten-free products, food products. And those are all, you know, fruits and vegetables and meats and grains, some of the grains, not all the grains. Rice is gluten-free. So on those natural products, and a lot of them don't have labels, you won't see that. But on the other hand, if you look at a package, it may not have gluten in it. So say, for example, oats, for example. Oats are naturally gluten-free, but if they are grown in a field where wheat has been grown before or next to a field where it's cross-contaminated, then it's not truly gluten-free because some people are very, very sensitive to gluten. You as well. Both of my daughters are gluten, and it's not necessarily some sensitivity, it's a toxic reaction. So you have to be extraordinarily careful. Otherwise you get flu-like symptoms, stomach flu-like symptoms, a lot of, I understand, I feel for you. I do. So the gluten-free question is good. It'll also say on labels, if it is something like that, that it's made in a factory with gluten or with nuts or with wheat. It'll say with wheat. That's usually a good indicator. Any more questions on this particular slide?